Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Santivatha Chinni, Associate Professor of Pharmacology, Raipur, Anantapur. During the yesterday's expert meeting for the formation of consortium, as some of the heads of institutions expressed that they are unaware of Medicines Complete database, so I'm making a small video to show the usability of Medicines Complete and its applicability to the students of not only PharmD community for also for the PhD scholars and any kind of other research activities. So let me start by showing a very small demo for 5 minutes. So first of all, in order to open the Medicines Complete, we just need to open by typing Medicines Complete. So after typing Medicines Complete, you can observe Medicines Complete, about.medicines complete over here. So once the page is open, you can press on login. So here we need to type our username and password provided by the Medicines Complete. So right now I'm just giving the username and password of a demo user account. So once I log in, I'll get a login screen like this, and here I can check my user. So generally there will be your college name over here instead of informatics demo. So this is just a demo account to show you the usability of Medicines Complete. So once you log in through your mobile or your desktop, you can just search whatever you want in the search dialog. So basically Medicines Complete is having all these resources: EHFS, American Health Formulary Services Drug Information, British National Formulary, British National Formulary for Children, Clark's Analysis of Drugs and Poisons, so and so. There are multiple databases with which I am going to show some examples also. In fact, this also has Orange Guide, which is particularly useful for Form 4 submissions in case of challenging a patented drug. Right. So first of all, let us see the usability for PharmD students. So let me consider as a PharmD student, and I just want to search about vitamin D and ascorbic acid, nothing but vitamin C and zinc. So these are all common nutritional supplements used in during this corona pandemic to treat the patients as well as also prophylactic. So let me type vitamin D. So after typing vitamin D, I get some options over there, and after opening about vitamin D, let me search about vitamin D in the Martindale Complete Drug Reference. So in this so I get drug nomenclature, and there are many other synonyms for this vitamin D. All of them are mentioned here. If you don't want to see all this information directly, you can press on subsections over here. So these subsections will give you a direct bookmark to where do you want to go. So first of all, you just want to search what are various preparations of vitamin D available in the market. So let me press on preparations. Now there are single and multi ingredient preparations and pharmacopoeia preparations. Let me first search the preparations for India. As I already searched, so India preparations are already available here. So you can see there are many other countries preparations available, and India's preparations are also available. So right now vitamin D's India preparations are these. So let me press on any one of these randomly. I don't know what is seen with D is. I'm just pressing randomly. So when I pressed, you can observe Cineria. This is an Indian company which produces vitamin D, which is nothing but cholecalciferol. Now I just want to know what are the pharmacological actions or whatever else for vitamin D. So I just want to know about the drug profile. So directly I can go to the drug profile and search various information about the vitamin D. And moreover, so let's say this Martindale is a comprehensive resource, and if the student want to have an elaborate resource such as AHFS, so we can also go and check the same information in the EHFS. So we can directly press this and vitamin D substances in AHFS. You can see cholecalciferol or calcifediol. So this is in AHFS. So again in AHFS also there are multiple subsections. So based on the interest of student, the student can get into any one of the sections. So let's say particularly the student want to give some advice to patients. So while taking this vitamin D, so what are the advice to patients that you need to give? So all these are present over here. So this is one type of reference for Form D students. And let us check an ADR checker or interaction checker. Let's check the interactions first. So commonly this interaction checker is very handy. Just after the login screen you can see the interaction checker here. So let me type some of the drugs used for corona only: vitamin D and zinc and ascorbic acid and vitamin B12, cobalamin, and apart from this, if the patient has fever or cold or any other symptoms, let's say the patient is also suffering from cold or fever, right? So let's check paracetamol, and because of cold the patient may be given chlorpheniramine, right? And so till now let us check the drug interactions. So there are no drug interactions up to this, so a patient may be administered with all these compounds without any issue, right? Let us say the patient is also suffering with pulmonary embolism or thromboembolism due to the same coronavirus. So now in this case the patient may need to be intervened with addition of an anticoagulant such as warfarin or heparin, right? So just for reference I am just typing warfarin first, and let me search what are the interactions possible, right? So when you combine warfarin with paracetamol, there is an explanation that there is a severe interaction. So a number of randomized studies have found a minor to modest increase in anticoagulant effect of coumarins, and few have reported no effect. So there is a severe interaction over here, and there is another minor reaction which inhibits the so with the warfarin the effects of ascorbic acid will be reduced. So these are some minor and major side effects observed with warfarin. So as an anticoagulant warfarin doesn't fit here. So let us change this warfarin with enoxaparin, which is a low molecular weight heparin. So when I search for enoxaparin, so let's see what happens. Again, so when you interchange the warfarin with enoxaparin, there are no interaction. So now you can add enoxaparin to this instead of warfarin. So this is how these medicines complete would be useful for checking interactions. Let me now show you how ADR checker works. So commonly in the drug information centers, these PharmD students will be giving some advice to the patients. So generally, if a patient comes with a pack of tablets and ask a PharmD student, what are the side effects if I take these, right? So let's say generally our family students will go to dermatology, pediatrics, and all these, right? So let's say in the dermatology ward, a patient has been given with ketoconazole ointment or a ketoconazole tablet for a fungal infection, right? So just after checking the ADR, you can see there are multiple number of ADRs reported. Out of these, the very most common ADRs will be highlighted first. Hepatic enzyme increased when taken orally, and this is very common, right? And liver function tests are abnormal when administered orally, and this is also very common, right? And there are some rare reactions also seen if you go to the end. Application site inflammation, age adults, topical, and uncommon, right? So, like this. And if you do not know what kind of this reaction is this, right? Let's say in some of these ADR, something like Steven Johnson syndrome is given as ADR. So maybe the student have never heard about this Johnson syndrome, right? So for the reference of students, if you press down, you are going to see the explanation for that particular ADR, right? So here the problem is hepatic enzymes increased. So these increased hepatic enzymes are nothing but liver injury or hepatotoxicity. So what is meant by that would also be given. So the student can learn from that and explain to the patient. So this is up to what PharmD students can use, right? So in addition to these, medicines complete can offer many other things for the researchers, right? So out of most of the research projects for B Pharm and M Pharm students, and also some of the post uh, PhD students, we can observe that most of them are made up of herbal projects. So either testing the efficacy of a herbal extract or an isolated compound or so and so. So if you want to check the information on herbal compounds also, that is also possible in this medicines complete. So again, let me come to ashwagandha. So ashwagandha is a very commonly used immunomodulator right now for COVID, because ashwagandha is the base for some of the bithanolides which are found to be key compounds or the skeletal compounds for many of the corticosteroids, right? So let us search about ashwagandha here, right? So I got ashwagandha, ashwagandha plus antibiotics, ashwagandha plus digoxin. So first of all, let me check ashwagandha alone. Okay, so ashwagandha alone you can check in the herbal medicines. So again over here there are multiple subsections. You can observe the species, synonyms, parts used, food use, herbal use. So how to use ashwagandha herbally, and most importantly you are going to get the references over here. So whatever the text which is given here is peer reviewed, and you are also going to get a properly indexed and cited references, right? So you can observe the references mentioned here: Department of Ayush, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Neuropsychopharmacological and Biology, Psychiatry, and Central Nervous System Agents, Medicinal Chemistry. So these are all ESCI indexed journals. These are not low quality journals, these are all peer reviewed journals, right? So in this manner you are going to get the information about the whole herb preparations as well, right? Now let me again type the same ashwagandha. So you can just check ashwagandha plus antibiotics. This has another advantage. Ashwagandha plus antibiotics is nothing but you are going to now enter into Stokely's herb drug interactions. So the Stokely's herb drug interactions is going to give you an idea about herbal interactions also. Not only drug drug interactions, we are going to check the information about herb drug interactions. So right, let me directly go to Stokely's herb drug interactions, and yeah, this is Stokely's only interactions overview, right? So ashwagandha might have mild blood glucose lowering effects, which might be additive with conventional anti-diabetic drugs. Ashwagandha can affect the reliability of some desoxynases, might affect thyroid hormone concentrations, interfering with the control of hypo and hyperthyroidism. So based on this text, based upon the availability of or the dosage of the patient, you might need to change some modifications in the doses, or ultimately you might need to devoid this particular ashwagandha for those patients who are seriously ill. Or let me also show you another feature with the same Stokely's drug interactions, which is very well useful for many students, right? Let me I mean, right now in many patients Ginkgovit is used. Ginkgovit is a preparation by Apex Pharma company, which contains zinc, vitamin C, vitamin D, and also importantly it contains grapeseed extract. So I also have a sample of sheet of Ginkgovit to show you that it contains grapeseed extract. So in fact the thing is not clearly visible, but however I would like to show you by highlighting it over here. So I hope you can see grapeseed extract 50 milligrams. So 50 milligrams of grapeseed extract is available in Zincovit tablet. Okay, so let us now go to grapeseed extract and see what are the interactions if someone takes grapeseed extract preparations. Okay, so directly we can go to grapeseed. So here you can see grapeseed food, grapeseed ascorbic acid. So in fact the ginkgo itself contains ascorbic acid, right? Grapeseed and herbal medicines, grapeseed and midazolam. So like this there are certain herb drug interactions reported with the grapeseed, right? So let me go and check what is these interactions. This is very interesting, right? So it seems grapeseed polyphenols, when administered 500 mg twice daily, and vitamin C 200 mg, 250 mg twice daily, the combination for 6 weeks shown reduced systolic blood pressure by 1.8 mmHg, but the grapeseed polyphenols had no effect on blood pressure when administered alone. So the combination of vitamin C as well as grapeseed polyphenols finally shown to reduce the blood pressure. Sorry, they increase the blood pressure by 4.8 and 6.6 mm of Hg. So which means in those people who are already suffering with increased blood pressure, this combination could lead to some problems, right? But however, what is given here? So grapeseed polyphenols of 500 mg twice daily. So whatever we have seen in Ginkgovit is 50 mg. So it is just 10% of what is mentioned in this literature. So maybe this further need to be evaluated, or this is not producing any interactions, right? So in this manner you are also having a very good reference for herbs and herb drug interactions through Stokely's, right? So let us now consider a pharmaceutical research, right? So especially pharmaceutics people has a habit of checking multiple pharmaceutical excipients. So the excipients are very essential in producing novel drug delivery systems like nano formulations and lipid drug deliveries and micro formulations, and all these for all these formulations excipients plays a very important role, right? So let me now check one excipient which is very commonly used, polyethylene glycol. Let me go to P, polyethylene glycol. Right, there are multiple polyethylene glycols over here. Sorry, this is a polypropylene glycol. Okay, let me just open the polypropylene glycol itself. Right, so you can observe multiple subsections in the polypropylene glycol. It's in this also. So let me go to regulatory status of this polypropylene glycol, whether it is approved or not. Right, so induced in the FDA inactive ingredient database, especially for using in buccal dental and extracorporeal preparations, inhalations, etc. And let me go to incompatibilities of polypropylene glycol. So it is incompatible with oxidizing agents such as potassium permanganate, right? So when you are using polypropylene glycol as an excipient, you should not use potassium permanganate or any other oxidizing agent because it is incompatible. So like this, you are going to get information, and along with the information you are also going to get many references pertaining to that particular information, right? So in this manner, this is not only useful for PharmD students, you are going to get a complete package which can be used for research for BPharm students, MPharm students and PhD scholars also. As many of people are unaware about this Medicines Complete, that Medicines Complete has Martindale database, which is also one of the major database given in the micromedics. So in along with this Martindale database, this has multiple other additional options, including all these pharmaceutical excipients, Orange Book. So right now whatever I have shown is just 2 to 3 uses, right? So if you could really put this into the force, and if you could really train the students with this Medicines Complete, I hope this is literally useful for many of them. Pharmaceutical press produces this Medicines Complete, whereas micromedics is mostly used by the doctors. So this is the reason why I just wanted to make a video and to show the significance of Medicines Complete. Apart from this, I am going to also share the contact of a person to whom, if you want to check a trial version of this Medicines Complete, you can contact Mr. Venkat. So he will guide you through how to use, as well as he will also give you a demo license. Further, the I'm particularly emphasizing to show these Medicines Complete because the basic idea of forming the consortium is to cut short the cost as well as to give a complete resource. So this is particularly my interest. I'm not doing this video with the force of anyone. So basically I'm not a PharmD teacher. I'm not dealing with PharmD lessons. However, I dealt them earlier. So I'm a pharmacologist. So for me, this Medicines Complete database is useful for many other jobs, including it will be also useful for the PharmD students. So if you feel that the video is a little long, so I'm very sorry. I just want to show the importance of this through this brief video. Thank you for your patient listening.